Minglawa, welcome to Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Here are the latest news and reports. Lotto representatives question €50 million Poland ODA loan proposal for waste management. A report on current situation of coronavirus in Beijing. A story coverage on BarCamp Yangon 2020 now open for registration. And the last report on the need for Myanmar exporters to properly comply with EU's REX system regulations. We'll definitely get to the reports in a while, but before that, let's take a look at some local news. Commander-in-Chief of Defense Services, Senior General Mayor Line, received Air Chief Marshal Manat Wangwat, Commander-in-Chief of the Royal Thai Air Force in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. According to a news release from the Office of the Commander-in-Chief of Defense Services, the officials discussed matters on the need of cooperation between the two armed forces and among the ASEAN countries on the implementation of humanitarian assistance and disaster response, exchanging meteorological information and data, sending trainees and exchanging friendly visits. Union Minister for Information Dr. Pei Mien received a delegation led by Indian Ambassador Mr. Saurabh Kumar in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. During the meeting, the officials discussed matters on bilateral cooperation between Myanmar and India, on news media, Indian Film Festival to be held in Myanmar, the conditions of signing an MOU on media between Myanmar and India, and arrangements for meetings between the journalists of the two nations. Union Minister for Hotels and Tourism U On received Australian Ambassador Andrea Faulkner in Naypyidaw on Wednesday. During the meeting, the officials discussed matters on development of Myanmar's tourism industry, short and long-term training programs in tourism and hospitality services for human resources development of Myanmar's tourism sector, investments of Australian investors in Myanmar tourism sector, planning on using QR codes to make it easier for tourists to know Myanmar's tourist attractions, promoting tourism by means of digital technology, increasing cooperation for tourism development, FAM trips between the two countries conducted by collaboration of government and private tourism organizations. Permanent Secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, U Sohan, called in Ambassador of Bangladesh, Manjuru Karim Khan Chowdhury, to Myanmar on Tuesday in Naypyidaw. During the meeting, the Permanent Secretary drew the attention of the Bangladeshi ambassador to the press release recently issued by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Bangladesh with a misleading title mentioning that the ICJ ordered Myanmar to stop genocidal acts. He told the ambassador that, in fact, the ICJ indicated Myanmar to take all measures to prevent the genocidal acts in accordance with its obligations under the Genocide Convention. The court also reaffirmed, among others, that the decision in no way prejudged the questions relating to the merits of the case filed by Gambia against Myanmar. The Permanent Secretary objected to the Bangladesh's international distortion of the decision of the court on the case against Myanmar. Such disinformation can cause misunderstanding on Myanmar by the international community, and it would in no way contribute to promoting bilateral relations and in advancing the repatriation process. The Permanent Secretary also reiterated Myanmar's readiness to receive the verified displaced persons and Myanmar's repeated request to the Bangladeshi side for the expeditious repatriation of the verified displaced persons, including Hindus who clearly expressed their willingness to return. That's all with the local news, and here's the first report on Myanmar Today. YCDC is planning to produce gas and fossil fuel from waste with the help from Japan and Poland. The project will cost more than €50 million, and the Pidang Lotto has been discussing the proposal to take loan from the government of Poland. While some Lotto representatives discussed in favor of the proposal, some raised concern over the loan which is set to be paid off. Let's hear more from our reporter, Agajo.
Yangon, the country's busiest commercial city, produces 2,500 tons of trash daily. For a city with nearly 8 million population, waste management requires substantial effort for the Yangon City Development Committee. Since 2008, Yangon has been seeing a massive increase in waste. The express reports predict that Yangon is likely to run out of land for waste disposal sites within 4 years. The YCDC's proposal to generate electricity from waste fell short as the government and the YCDC did not reach agreement in pricing the electricity to be sold. Currently, the YCDC is planning to produce gas and fossil fuel from waste with the help from Japan and Poland. The project will cost more than 50 million euros, and the ပြည်ထောင်စုလွှတ်တော် has been discussing the proposal to take loan from the government of Poland. While some Ludo representatives discussed in favor of the proposal, some raised concern over the loan, which is set to be paid off in 67 years. Dawkins Sunline, Ludo representative of the Palais constituency, said,
We have to consider carefully when it comes to paying off the loan in 67 years. Take Japan-Bek WYTEP plant in Shuebida, for example. It had to halt its operation due to the system breakdown and maintenance. Now it is expected to resume operation after the system is fixed. If the plan to pay off the ODA loan with the income generated from the plant manufactured by the plant does not work out, I'm concerned it will lead us to utilize the government fund for the debt. And I would like to ask how we would handle the issue as such. Moreover, we need to exercise caution in considering whether the plant will be able to run till the time the debt is paid off. And we need the calculated plan on whether the plant will be able to generate income for all 67 years. As far as we have learned, the longevity of the plant is 25 years. That's why I would like to request more details and the necessary documents on the loan plan.
About 150 companies offer the government to implement the Yangon Waste-to-Energy Plant YWTEP projects on public-private partnership over the past 3 years. Of 150, about 50 were chosen for tender process, which however were put on hold till now. The YWTEP project is criticized in that there is cost for the waste disposal service and the energy price will be expensive. The energy generated from YWTEP is slightly more costly than hydropower and coal energy. However, it is cheaper than solar energy, wind energy, and natural gas energy. The Tianbin dump site, one of the largest landfill sites in Yangon, is located in Langdaya Township. At the site, vast arrays of waste from hospital to industrial zones are being dumped directly on the ground. In 2018, fire broke out at the dump site in Langdaya, which lasted for 2 weeks, triggering a massive air pollution in Yangon. With the growing population and industrialization gaining momentum in Yangon, the waste management demands a great deal of labor and cost. The Tianbin dump site in Langdaya Township alone uses 7.9 billion jets from 2016-2017 fiscal year to 2018 and 2019 fiscal year. Discussing in favor of the loan proposal, Wu Angjojo, Ludo representative for Lime constituency, said,
70% of the trash generated by Yangon is wet garbage and 30% dry trash. So the waste treatment plant WTP is preferable than the waste to energy plant WTEP project. The project will yield the products that can turn into income. The calculation shows that the income will slightly higher than the production cost. And also the interest rate is low. These are the reasons why we are in the favor of the loan proposal.
This is Agaljo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
That's a report on Ludo representatives questioning €50 million Poland ODA loan proposal for waste management. Alright, it's time now to check on the weather forecast in Myanmar. Well, in Yangon, a nice weather with sunshine, but air quality will be unhealthy for sensitive groups during the day. Highest temperature for the day will be at 33 degrees Celsius and the lowest will be at 18 degrees Celsius. There's plenty of sunshine in Naypyidaw during the day with clear skies at night. Highest temperature for the day will be at 32 degrees Celsius and the lowest will be at 14 degrees Celsius. A beautiful weather with sunshine in Mandalay during the day. Highest temperature for the day will be at 30 degrees Celsius and the lowest will be at 14 degrees Celsius. Well, back to our reports now, and we'll check on the stocks and currency exchange rates after this report. The novel coronavirus outbreak in Wuhan city of China has become viral, and there are also a lot of Myanmar students studying currently in China. Our MI Radio team contacted Wu Anglin, one of these students who is currently studying for a PhD at Beijing University in Beijing. Here's a report.
Hello everyone, this is your reporter Dora reporting you from MI Radio. China and Myanmar, the two countries, are connected to each other geographically and also in economy, politics, and many other aspects. Right now, the outbreak of the novel coronavirus in Wuhan city of China has been widely spread to many other countries around the world. The spreading of virus inside China has become the most important topic, and there are also a lot of Myanmar students currently studying in China. So, our MI Radio team contacted Wu Anglin, who is currently studying PhD at Beijing University in Beijing. So firstly, he briefed about the current situation in Beijing, which is the capital city of China.
Okay, ကျွန်တော်ဦးအောင်လွင်ပါလက်ရှိပေကျင်းမြို့ဘေဟန်နီးပညာတက္ကသိုလ်မှာပါရဂူပွဲနဲ့တက်ရောက်နေပါတယ်ခင်ဗျ။ပေကျင်းမြို့ကတော့အဓိက coronavirus outbreak စပြန့်တဲ့ဝူဟန်နဲ့ကမိုင်ပေါင်း655မိုင်ဝေး
Actually, Beijing is 655 miles away from Wuhan city, which is the virus outbreak area. There are about 100 people infected in Beijing, and one passed away on 26th of this month. The infection is not as severe as Wuhan, but the Chinese government announced level 1 emergency and trying to control the virus. Even the transportation, right now, all the transportation to Wuhan has been blocked. But inside Beijing city, there are still cars on the road and also subways are still active. Also in our campus, we can still go around and buy the stuffs for groceries with a limited time. Also, there are announcements in time as what should we do for before going out or after coming back from outside.
He also mentioned that there are always announcements on time from the government and respective organizations, like not to eat seafood and meat which are not properly cooked or use high temperature to cook the meals. Also, there are announcements as try not to go outside as much as possible except in emergency cases. Currently, the Chinese government has responded to the outbreak by placing Wuhan and nearby cities under a de facto quarantine encompassing over 30 million people.
ကျောင်းတွေကတော့သူ့ရဲ့ rules and regulation တွေတော့ထုတ်ပြန်ထားတာရှိပါတယ်ဥပမာပြန်မယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်
The universities have their own rules and regulations for the students who want to go back. They have to send the request letters to the respective professors or university dean to go back and have to go through the medical test before they go back. Most of the students go back and there are less people in the campus. Also, the Chinese students who came from other cities went back to their hometown.
အခုဆိုသွားလာလဲနေတယ်ရှင်သွားလာလဲနေဆိုလူတွေလည်းသိမရှိဘူးခင်ဗျ
Wu Anglin also mentioned that all of the tourist attraction places in China have shut down, including Great Wall or Tiananmen Square, and even though this is the national holiday for the Spring Festival, they cancelled all the big events to avoid the crowd and infection.
Right now, the coronavirus outbreak has spread to around the world. If we check the infection cases, those started relating from Wuhan. So I am worried about our country since we have direct transportation routes. So I think we should check the list of the people entered to the country starting from the time the outbreak happened in December and check their health conditions. Also, if the routes from Wuhan still opening, we should be really careful about inspecting the health conditions of the visitors came from the outbreak areas.
အဖြစ်မနေဝင်ခွင့် ပြုမယ်ဆိုလို့ရှိရင်တော့လေတေချာစစ်ဆေးပြီးမှသာလျှင်ဝင်မှုကျွန်တော်အဲ့ဒါလေးသတိပေးချင်ပါတယ်ဗျ
The novel coronavirus, which is currently regarded as the global white disease, which already affected over 6,000 diagnosed cases and 132 deaths in China and over 70 diagnosed cases in abroad. Also, one of the Chinese government's efforts to control over the virus is the construction of Leishenchen Hospital, with a construction area of 33,900 square meters, contain different departments, including patient wards, consulting room, and sterilizing rooms. The hospitals will play a crucial role in the ongoing battle against the novel coronavirus, and according to the latest reports on Wednesday, the fundamental infrastructure is expected to be put into use by February 5th, and the whole Shenzhen hospital is set to be ready on February 3rd. Okay, so that's all about the report now. This is your reporter daughter reporting you from MI Radio, and see you again.
That's a report on the current situation of coronavirus in Beijing. And now we have information on currency rates from Myanmar's central bank. $1 is at 1,467 kyats. 1 Chinese renminbi is at 211 kyats. 1 euro is at 1,614 kyats. 1 pound sterling is at 1,910 kyats. 1 Singapore dollar is at 1,079 kyats. 1 Malaysian ringgit is at 359 kyats. 1 Thai baht is at 47 kyats, and the Indian rupee is at 20 kyats. Gold is trading at $1,579. Silver is at $17. And Brent crude oil is at $52. On the Yangon Stock Exchange, FMI went up 500 and it's at 11,500. MTSH went up 50 and it's at 3,950. MCB remains at 8,100. FPB is at 23,000. TMH is at 2,850. You're with MI Radio's Myanmar Today. You can log on to our website at miradio.com.mm and catch other great programs of MI Radio on the website. We're also running on 96.1 FM in Yangon, 96.5 in Mandalay, and 96.7 in Naypyidaw. Alternatively, you can download our app on both iOS and Android platforms. It's easy to search. Just type in Myanmar INTL Radio and you'll find the app. Download it on your devices so you can listen to our radio programs on the go. Stay with us as we bring you more reports on Myanmar Today. BarCamp Yangon has called for registration for the upcoming 2020 event, which is to be held at MICT Park in Yangon from the 15th to the 16th of February. The organizing team has informed that this year, participants will be able to choose and take part in the session they are interested in at their convenience. Thoras Within has the details.
BarCamp Yangon, which is recorded as the world's largest BarCamp event, has now opened for registration for 2020 event. BarCamp Yangon 2020 will be held at MICT Park in Yangon on 15 and 16 February. At the second press conference held on 28 January, it was informed that those who want to join BarCamp Yangon 2020 can register through mobile application.
Web ဖြစ်တဲ့အတွက် username တစ်ခု email တစ်ခုစသဖြင့်ချိန်မှာ mobile app ဖြစ်လို့ရှင်တော့ပို့ပြီးတော့ကြည်ကြည်လေးလေးဖြစ်မယ်နောက်
In the previous years, we had the registration link on website, but there are several repeated registrations by changing the usernames or the email addresses. So we considered that the mobile application will solve this problem. Moreover, if it is offline, you cannot have any update or review the schedule on web. In the mobile application, the participants can store most of the data offline, and there will be the voting system of requesting the topic the participants can discuss. We have been trying to launch the user-friendly application since 3 or 2 years ago. This year, we will use the application for the registration.
ဘာကန်ပုံမှန်အားဖြင့်တော့ကျွန်တော်တို့အခန်းလေးတိုင်းမှာကျွန်တော်အချိန်လေးတွေ slot လေးတွေခွဲထားရပါတော့
Usually, at the BarCamp events, we have different time slots for different topics at the corners. This is the scheme of the BarCamp that we come to know the topics at the event, so the participants are busy with checking on the topic board and finding the corner for the topic they want to listen to. For example, what we encountered in the previous events was that the participants wanted to take part in machine learning section, but topic was twisted, so we didn't know this topic was under machine learning session. So for this year, we will have a specific corners for specific sessions. We will label the topics such as machine learning or web development. The topics will be creative or there will be jargons used, but the participants can easily choose the session they are interested in.
သူစိတ်ဝင်စားတဲ့အခန်းကိုဝင်ပြီး join လိုက်တာနဲ့အဲ့ဒီပညာကိုတောက်လျှောက် topic တွေကတောက်လျှောက်နားထောင်သွားလို့ရတာပေါ့
This year, there will be community corner where the participants can search for the content of both the local and international community groups formed in the technical field.
People in the technical field will have a wider network and they will be able to catch up the most updated technologies. Especially the youths can have more ideas of how to make the technology sector improve. Every year at the BarCamp event, we focus on the trend happening at the moment. For this year, one of the popular issues is that there are many online pages or websites that are contributing the fake news. The readers have difficulties in distinguishing the real news and fake ones, so we have planned to educate with this case at the coming up event.
To join BarCamp Yangon 2020, it can be registered ahead, or the participants can register on the spot. BarCamp Yangon has been being held in Myanmar since 2010 and it has turned 10 years now. Starting from it, there are many BarCamps in different areas of learning organized in townships around Myanmar. BarCamp can be defined as the open conference or an conference because there are no topics prepared ahead or any specific speakers. The participants can raise the topic or request the topics. The BarCamp culture has started from America and now it has spread to many countries including Asia. It can be held in different fields or areas and BarCamp Yangon focuses on the technological field. This is Laura Susan reporting from MI Radio.
That's a report on BarCamp Yangon 2020, now open for registration. And here's the last report on the need for Myanmar exporters to properly comply with EU's REX system regulations. Ministry of Commerce said that the number of companies listed on Registered Exporter System, REX, has reached 621. This was learnt at the seminar on REX system at the Department of Trade, Export and Import Yangon branch on January 24th. Over 300 participants, including exporters, officials from Ministry of Commerce and special guests attended the seminar. Akajo has the details.
Ministry of Commerce said the number of companies listed on Registered Exporter System, REX, has reached 621. Myanmar is eligible for duty-free and quota-free access to the European market for all of its products except for arms and ammunition under the European Union's Generalized Scheme of Preferences, EU GSP. In order to benefit from this preferential market access, Myanmar exporters have to prove that their products originate in Myanmar. This way, the European Union ensures that tariff preferences are only granted to GSP beneficiary countries. Under the current system, exporters are required to obtain a Certificate of Origin Form A for consignments where the value exceeds 6,000 euros. This Form A needs to be requested for each export and then issued and stamped by the competent authority. The competent authority refers to the Ministry of Commerce, MOC, in the case of Myanmar. Doshin Sotu, Assistant Director of the Ministry of Commerce, explained the objective behind the seminar.
The seminar aims to raise awareness of the REX system. There are 622 exporters who have got certificates and registered for REX system. With a certificate and under the REX system, they can export their products to EU. But the products, which are defined as not wholly obtained, need the product registration certificate before they are exported. The REX system has been applied since 1st January 2017 for GSP beneficiary countries. However, Myanmar notified the European Commission that it will apply the REST system from 1st January of 2018 on. For a transition period of 1 year, the old system, Form A, and the new system, self-certification, will be applied in parallel. This means that registered exporters make out statements on origin themselves, while non-registered exporters continue to use Form A as a proof of origin.
All exporters, whether registered or not, are entitled to make out statements on origin for consignments that have a value below 6,000 euros. If additional time for the transition is needed, Myanmar can request an extension of 6 months. Ugo Gole, Deputy Director General of Ministry of Commerce, said,
There are 140 companies from 2018 till now which applied for Certificate of Product Registration. And this seminar is for the remaining registered exporters exporting the products that are wholly obtained without Certificate of Product Registration. So this is to inform them that they need to apply for the certificate first before they export for this particular type of products.
In order to prevent fraud, the Ministry of Commerce is expected to carry out regular controls on exporters on its own initiative once the REC system is in place. These checks serve to verify that exported products originate in Myanmar. As partners in Myanmar's transition, the EU is doing its share in many ways, also on the trade policy. Since 2013, Myanmar exporters can have full advantage of the preferential market access to the EU deriving from the EU Generalized Scheme of Preferences. Under the so-called Everything But Arms EBA treatment, Myanmar companies now enjoy duty-free and quota-free access to a European market of over 500 million consumers for all Myanmar products except for arms and ammunitions. A good understanding of EU GSP scheme and its rule of origin is essential for the private sector. This is Agajo reporting for Myanmar International Radio.
Well, that's all the reports on Myanmar today. Now, as we all know, the world is being struck with health crisis, viruses spreading, earthquakes shaking the planet, and things are unspeakably escalating so quick that I believe we should keep up with the news from around the globe. So let's take a turn to some international news and find out what's happening around the world. The Chinese city of Wuhan in Hubei province is the most affected place and the first to report the coronavirus outbreak. Is it true that the supply of supermarkets in Wuhan is in great shortage? Watch the video to find the answer.
都在问是不是还开门？哎，对，电话就都是这些。你好，采访。开门，早上9点到晚上6点。不会，这个公司再三的，因为我们价格是全国定价。就是根据你本地的物价情况来定价，就是不可能让我们去涨价的。我们门店也没有权利涨价，这个价格全部都由总部统一来控制。
有类似的，但是马上就应该澄清了这些问题吧。
你信过没？
那有一刹那想过，但是后来看看实际情况应该没有，还是先去武汉吧。
The World Health Organization says it will hold an urgent meeting this week to decide whether the coronavirus is an international public health emergency. In a news conference Wednesday morning, WHO Director General Dr. Tedros Adhanom Ghebreyesus said the agency is working closely with public health authorities in infected countries. According to the WHO criteria, for the virus to be labeled an international public health threat, it must spread locally when it arrives in new parts of the world. Officials stressed there is still a lot they don't know about the virus and that information is changing by the hour. According to German health officials, a man contracted the coronavirus from a colleague visiting from Shanghai. Officials believe this is the first case of person-to-person transmission outside of China. As of now, the coronavirus includes a range of symptoms. About 20% of people become severely sick and develop pneumonia and respiratory failure. In other news, as a way to fight hunger, the Argentinian government has been issuing food cards to low-income families. Families with children under the age of 6 will get cuts from $60 to $100. But some people aren't sure if this is really enough for their dire situations.
Podemos comprar un montón de cosas, digamos que a ellos les va a servir. Lo que es carne, leche y todas las cosas más primordiales que necesitan ellos, ¿no?
¿Les alcanza?
No sé, la que no vaya al supermercado.
No puede haber hambre. Un país que produce alimentos no puede haber hambre, no puede haber malnutrición. En un contexto de restricción presupuestaria, hay reorganización del presupuesto para fortalecer el plan Argentina contra el hambre. Eso marca la prioridad.
Well, that's a wrap, and thanks for joining me on Myanmar Today. I'm Henry Zin. Have a good day, everyone, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Goodbye now.